Hey everybody, my name is Bryce. So I'm going to start to talk about some of the takeaways I had from this week's 3 videos. So in the first video, Miss Solano was talking about the difference between involvement and engagement with parents and their children. I think this is really crucial because, like, if you think about it, involvement can be like being a part in the class and stuff, but that's not really engaging. Not everybody can be involved, but every single parent can be engaged, and I think that is kind of cool. It means like you're investing, you're putting a stake into your child, and so I think that's one of the best points that she made in that. I also really liked how she did the Facebook Live lessons pretty much online to help the parents know what they're doing and have the parents really get involved to see the teacher's personal side and have them be in her life. I really liked that. That was really cool. She also said something that kind of I don't know I don't know how I feel about. She said um, things can fall by the wayside when focusing on other things. In reference to she put a lot of time and effort in talking and trying to do more family engagement, and she said the other things kind of fell to the wayside. I feel like it is important, but at the same time, all those other things, we need to be very good all around compared to just developing one specific skill when you're becoming a teacher. So for the second video, so Miss Dix was talking about how children recognize when there's great teacher parent relationship, and I've never really kind of thought about this. I thought it was really cool, but she had a really good point that they try harder, they do push themselves a lot better when this relationship exists. And I mean, like, this is something that kind of like went right over my head. I didn't even think about it at first, and but she's so right. Like, if I, for example, me, if I knew my teacher and my parents were really close in connection, I'm gonna definitely try way harder because I don't want my parents to be disappointed in me. So that's really good. Um, and then for the last video, um, they mainly talked about how, like, the gentleman in the video was talking about how parents want to be engaged. They do not want to be engaged. They just sometimes don't really know how. And he was talking about how you have to give them certain tools and techniques to help them be engaged in their education. I feel like that's very crucial. Like, he was saying how you got to break it up into chunks, about 15 minutes videos, because even if they don't have time to be involved, as previously said, they have time to be engaged, and they can accept being engaged with their children, being engaged in their education. And then um, everyone wants to help their children, but they don't necessarily know how. And I feel like that's exactly why you need to give them those sort of little tools to help and be engaged, because they don't necessarily have degrees in education and things like that. So it's really important to help them. And so, but like in general, from the overall all 3 videos, I feel like one of the main points is it's not really easy to be engaged with parents. It's not something you need to learn, like in the last video I was saying. You don't have to do that your whole education, but it's way easier too. It's not hard to learn, but it's hard to keep going at it. Like, building relationships every day isn't easy. Having a good conversation and relationships with all these different parents and have them involved in their children's education, it's not hard to get them involved, it's hard to get them engaged so what they know what to do. And these relationships don't just happen overnight. It takes time, it takes effort, and I feel like that's probably one of the most important points of all 3 of these videos, is that it's not easy. It takes a lot of effort, and yeah, and I mean that's kind of my intake on all 3 of these videos for this week. So yeah, thanks.